And here we go. What's going on, everybody? Finally made it. We're finally here, the last episode of Batman the Animated Series, and it's not technically an episode, it's the lost episode of Batman the Animated Series. Finally here, I've reviewed all the episodes, gotta do this, then I gotta do a ranking, and then, overall thoughts on the show, and then a written review of the series. Then I'm done with Batman the Animated Series. No more. Finally, at the end. Wow, what a ride, huh? What a crazy ride. I mean, I didn't think that I'd get to this point. It just... Well, I knew I did. I think I knew I would, but it just, I didn't realize how long it would take. I mean, 85 episodes, and that just... It takes a while to get through. And then I was setting up a camera in the beginning. Then at some point, I'm just like, you know what? Just switch to voiceover. I mean, really, I'm not going through and I'm doing, elaborate written reviews or anything on the episodes as a whole. I'm just doing it unscripted and then doing a written review on the series. So I figured, fuck it, let's just do this unscripted, blah, 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 and here we are. We're finally here on the Lost episode. Now, so let's talk the Lost episode, for those of you who don't know. So, the Lost episode is... The thing about this is it's just cutscenes from a video game in the vein of Batman the Animated Series. They got all the voice cast members back, the people as Rupert Thorne, you have Mark Hamill as Joker, Kevin Conroy, Lauren Lester, so on and so forth. All those people are back for cutscenes for a video game. For, actually, this game here, although a different version. The game is The Adventures of Batman and Robin. It's for the Sega CD. Now, I don't own that game. I would like to, but here's the Sega CD. Look at this thing. Look at this hoss. Look at this beast. But I do own the game for the Sega Genesis. Now, before we get into the game itself, let's talk about the Sega Genesis version, because while I'm here, I might as well. This game is like the hardest fucking game I've ever played. Like, I swear to... I can't beat this game. I've tried for years. I die, and I die, and I die. Like, I can't beat it. It's impossible for me. I would love to one day see the ending of this game, but I just can't do it. Like, it's a two-player, it's like a side-scrolling, platform-type game. You're just shooting all sorts of enemies, and it has, this really intense music, it's insane. This game is hard. It's too difficult. It is so frustrating. I've played this game since I was a little kid, never been able to beat it. That's got to change someday, because I'm tired of just this game looming over my head, haha, it's John, you haven't beaten me yet, and I'm just like, damn it, fuck you. So, yes. So, here's the Sega CD, for those of you who don't know, because, Sega had this weird thing, and then there's also the 32X, where, to extend the life of the Genesis, it's like a whole new console entirely, but the thing this time is, it's on a CD. Wow! CDs, which, we're still using today, like a disc. And, they had the 32X, and then this, but, you'd have to own the Genesis version 2, I think, in order to play it, and it's just weird. This could have just been its own console altogether, but for some reason they paired it that. But, there's a whole history of gaming. You can look that up if you want. But, yeah, so it's based on the CD, and it's just cutscenes. So, they're not the same quality of animation. They're interesting to look at, but the game itself, I watched a playthrough of it, and in essence, you're just in the Batmobile, you go around racing from level to level, dodging obstacles, taking enemies down, shooting things, and then you make it to the cutscenes. Now, the cutscenes are interesting. There's a whole, video on it on YouTube. You can check it out, Batman the Animated Series, the Lost episodes. Some people have edited them together, and, they added the intro and all that, but the music in it is lackluster. It's this there's almost no music. It's kind of like you wish that Shirley Walker would have composed it sometimes. It's not like they couldn't include the sound. I don't know. I mean, it's early 90s, so they're still experimenting with a lot of things, but I still think that they could have included, Shirley Walker music composed in it, because if they're going to add, background music anyways, they should have added that to it. It would have made it more exciting in that. But the thing with the cutscenes, too, is, you have to understand them within the context of the game, because on themselves, it's kind of lackluster a bit. I guess if you kind of as, an episode, it would be the weakest. But you gotta understand, this is early 90s, this wasn't meant to be on TV, it was meant for, this, big hoss of a console. So, they got the driving stages, and then they have the animated segments. So, first animated segment, the plot of it is, somebody's been causing chaos in Gotham City, Batman has to go and stop them, which leads him to drive to one location, then to the next one, to the next one. So, obviously, if you just play through the game, it takes, I guess, some people get it done in less than an hour. So, first Batman has to, go through the stage, then he faces off against Poison Ivy, and Poison Ivy is doing your shtick, talking to him, blah, 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 blah. Then he has to fight this weird-looking plant creature, and then he kills it with an axe. Batman horrifically murders this thing. He takes an axe, he's an axe murderer, and then this thing just dies horrifically, And then Poison Ivy's just like, you know, I'm not the one responsible for this. You might want to check on your friends Robin and Commissioner Gordon. So then afterwards you do another stage. Then you go to the Riddler stage, and Riddler's still John Glover doing the voice, which is cool and all. Like, he does like a whole VR settings of it, and then Batman stops him, and then he has to go to Robin, and Robin's with Joker and Harley. When Robin was kidnapped, though, like after Batman saves him, Robin was in a chicken suit for some reason. I don't know why, but he was. So then they're just like, someone else is calling the shots. There's like, who else has the infrastructure to do that? They're like, it's Rupert Thorne. So then they go to Rupert Thorne. It's like, why are you doing this, Thorne? Why are you doing this? He's like, I'm not really Thorne. Haha, I'm Clayface. So then they go after and they have to stop Clayface. I'm sure there's some missions in that there. Then afterwards, Clayface is shot out of the sky. His, plane crashes in. He melts away horrifically. So Clayface dies horrifically in this game. Same with that plant monster. And the ending just kind of just fades out. And, like, there's no, like, epic shot of Batman and Robin. Like, you go through all that effort to include this animation. You could have done a little bit more elaborative of an ending to these cutscenes and just kind of like the credits pop up. That's the thing with a lot of the old games, and that like for like the Sega Genesis and all that, they didn't necessarily have the most elaborate endings to them. Like it just sort of just kind of like a title card pops up and that's it. But I can it's early technology. They're still working things out nowadays. Like cutscenes are like pretty much animated movies and it's spectacular. And if you do want to a Batman game with cutscenes from like animated series, technically like new Batman Adventures, but Batman Vengeance. Like Batman Vengeance has a legitimately like great storyline going on in this game. I mean, if you watch the cutscenes, they're CG, but like they're in the style of the animated series, and they look great. And the cutscenes, the voice acting is spectacular. Then they had Rise of Sin Tzu, which is a sequel to that game, and like the gameplay of that is not very good. It's really repetitive and boring. But the cutscenes are interesting, not quite as good as Batman Vengeance, but something interesting. So, but we'll worry about that when we get to that series. But yeah, so that was the Lost Episode, and it's based on, the Adventures of Batman and Robin. Of course, there's this version, there's, like, the Game Gear, Genesis, and then there's the Super Nintendo. All the games, I guess, differ substantially. I've never played the Super Nintendo one, but I think I've seen some clips of it. It's definitely very different from this one. Same with, like, the Sega CD one, and then I think there's a Game Gear. I've not seen anything from that, but yeah, you kind of get the idea. It's crazy to think of all these different versions of like the same game, whereas nowadays it's just like all the same at once. But like the bit wars were going on and all sorts of other crazy stuff with that. But yeah, so I think that's all I have to say. That's it. That's every episode. I mean, I just want to do the Lost Episode because I wanted to feel complete. And it was interesting. It was interesting to go and watch this one. Like I said, on its own, it's nothing special. But it's kind of a neat little thing to look at because it's not really a full-blown episode. It's just cutscenes from a video game with the voice cast and all that released around the time of the show. That's why it's been dubbed The Lost Episode. But it was still neat to watch, and it was kind of a fun way to end like these Batman the Animated Series reviews with talking about The Lost Episode. So, yeah, I think that's all I really have to say. Next video is just going to be kind of me like wrapping up my thoughts on the series as a whole. And then, I want to do a written review and like a ranking of all of them. But yeah, I think we're done. That's basically it. I hope you guys enjoyed these Batman the Animated Series reviews. Go back and rewatch them all. And I want to give a shout out to another YouTube user who's doing a far better job than I am covering these episodes. Because he's actually going through, he's including like clips of it, like everything about it, doing it every Tuesday and Thursday at the time of recording this. Andy Canode, if you're watching this, shout out to you, buddy. Your videos are spectacular with those Batman the Animated Series reviews. And go check those out. Way more detail than I have gone in these episodes because mine are just unscripted voiceovers because I wanted to just do like a written review on the series as a whole and then move on to other things because I worried about, copyright because I had an issue with one of my previous channels with reviewing Batman the Animated Series, and that one went under because I used footage and, I was just kind of nervous. But now I know, how to avoid a lot of those problems. So, yes, that's it. Got another video or two to record. But, yeah, that's Batman the Animated Series in a nutshell. Have you guys seen the Lost Episode? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to hit that little bell for notifications. Subscribe if you want to follow me on social media. Twitter.com/SeanJTKing. And what do you think of the Lost Episode? That's what I want to know. And I'll just do kind of like a wrap-up video after this, along with my rankings, and then a written review. And then I'm done with Batman the Animated Series, and then I'll move on to the new Batman Adventures. So, yep, that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. Check the other videos out. Check out my reviews on, Mask of the Phantasm and Mr. Freeze, Sub-Zero, and then, there's Batman Beyond. There's other stuff on my channel. If you have any requests, let me know in the comments below, and I thank you all so much for watching. It really means a lot, and I really appreciate it. So, yep, that's all I gotta say. Take care now. Bye-bye then. Batman the Animated Series, great show, phenomenal, all-time favorite, show when I was younger, and now it's still, definitely up there, but like 85 episodes in the Lost episode, it truly is spectacular. It launched the DC Animated Universe. I believe this is what got me into Batman, along with like the Tim Burton movies and the other Warner Brothers stuff. But Batman the Animated Series, phenomenal show, phenomenal. Check it out if you haven't already, in which case I don't know why you're watching this video if you haven't checked out Batman the Animated Series. But the Blu-rays are coming out later this year, and it's well worth your time to invest in them. Check it out. And I've heard rumblings of the show or the DC Animated Universe as a whole continuing, so what's it going to be? How's it going to continue? I don't know. We'll see, but I'm really looking forward to what they have planned. So, yeah, I think I've said so and what and, something like that a bunch of times. So I better just end this video right now. But I really appreciate you all watching this. That's, if I want to end on anything, it should be that. Alright, thank you for watching. Take care now. Bye-bye then. Batman kicks ass. Peace.